Freedom Week. And today I'm so excited. I'm literally over the moon to share with you exactly what is the roadmap towards you, whether you're watching this live with me, whether you're watching this on replay, whether you already have a business, whether you're only just thinking about starting a business, whether you've never done this before, whether you're starting from scratch, whether you are making a lot of money, or whether you have never made money before. Doesn't matter where you are at, how you can launch a freedom lifestyle business from scratch, even if you've never done this before. And I'm super excited to break this down for you. I actually have quite a lot on the board already, so we're going to dive in a moment. But I just came off one of our incredible calls with the FLC students, and FLC is a Freedom Lifestyle Certification Program, where literally we take our students through this process, and we're literally doing it with them. And they have like everything screen recorded, all the different steps. They get my templates, they get my funnels, they get my emails, they get my messenger flows, they get my closing script. They literally get everything, and they have lifetime access to our community and can ask questions for a lifetime and all that stuff. So we literally just went through this, and I'm so eager because I want to share with you some of this stuff as well today. But why I also am mentioning this is because I don't know if you guys can notice, but I have a lot of energy, and I was super, super excited. I was just so grateful, so happy, seeing the results of the FLC program on our students. Even for those of them who are just starting out on this, you can already in a very short space of time see a lot of incredibleness happening in their lives, whether that is in the money-making side of things, whether this is in attracting abundance side of things, whether it is in creating confidence, like in so many areas of life. And I really had a moment just now during the call, and everybody who was on the call, they will be able to see it, or they will be able to testify for it, is I just really felt so happy, because it's one thing to be able to make a lot of money yourself and to live a freedom lifestyle, which I'm super blessed for. But it is so much more incredible to see your students get results and to see you change your life. And that's why, I really want to share that. And I want to just, share my energy as it is, raw, real, and like as I'm feeling this way. And I really want you to know that you can do this too. Comment below and say, I can do this too. Comment below and say, I am a freedom lifestyle creator, right? Write that below, because anyone can do this. Literally anyone can do this. It doesn't matter where you're from. Doesn't matter whether you're a boy or a girl. Doesn't matter whether you have any business experience. I didn't have any business experience when I started out. Doesn't matter if you are tech savvy or not tech savvy. Within the FLC, we literally take everybody step by step through the whole process. And so I want you to know that if you listening to this, either now, live, or on the replay, if you want to change your life around, and if you too want to build a passive income stream and make a lot of money by helping people, then you can do this too. 100% you can do this too. And in the light of Freedom Week, what we actually do is we're sharing as much as we can every single day to help people, to allow you to realize that you can do it too. So I'm very, very excited for today's episode. And what I am going to do is I'm just quickly going to do my checks just to make sure that everything is working properly, because I've had it before where I went live and and then all of a sudden it wasn't working. And I definitely don't want that to be the case. And if you are here live with me, comment below where you're tuning in from, and I'm getting so many sweet comments. I'm just going to quickly show them in a second. But let me first do my checks to make sure everything is working properly. And here we go. Just checking. Also, let me know, are you here on YouTube or on Facebook? Because I can see both the comments come through. So definitely let me know. Oh, and there we go. Just another one. By the way, after this, also, we're going to have a Q&A on Instagram, as usual, with this Freedom Week. So after this video, if there's any questions that you may have, feel very free to jump with me to Instagram and to ask me any questions about this. So very excited to be here with you guys. Just do my final check to make sure that we are all good. But comment below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. YouTube, Facebook, nice, California, Washington. Super cool. Super, super excited to be here with y'all. And No? Welcome.
So after this video, if there's any questions that you may have, feel very...
Sound is working. That's good. That's good. There we go. All right. Okie dokie. There we are. Okay, cool. So let's get started. If you are having a pen with you, make sure to take notes and write down the things that I have on the board. It's going to be very beneficial, and I'm going to get this one here. Oh yeah, let me just very quickly just share some of the comments that came through. Hey, we got Misty in the house. Misty was saying FLC program is the bomb and life-changing. Thank you so much. You're so amazing. And Jay is saying FLC is just amazing and it impacted my life. Thank you so much for sharing that. You're so incredible. Thank you so much for saying that, Jay. Shabaria is so knowledgeable and such a great role model mentor. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. And we have the incredible, oh, oopsie. What am I doing? Yeah, there we go. If I can do this, by the way, you guys can do it too. Look how I am wiggling about. We got Teresa in the house. I can do this too. Absolutely, you can, 100%. And we got, let me just see what else. And Jaya in the house saying awesome. And we got Arti in the house saying Facebook. Alrighty, cool. So I just wanted to show off my beautiful tool where I can publish the comments. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, and I'm excited to get diving in. So on day number 2, I was talking about day number 1, I was talking about reverse engineering and how it is very important that whenever you go into business and you have this aim to do great things. And by the way, let me know in the comments if you are eager to do great things, if you want to make a lot of money, if you want to free up your time, if you want to look after your family, help people, if you want to make your life enjoyable and beautiful in all aspects of it. Because if that is the case, and if for the first step you want to allow yourself to get more abundance, in other words, focusing on business, focusing on money making, you want to make a lot of money, then it's very important to, first of all, be specific, right? So set yourself a goal. One of the goals that all the FLC students have to set themselves is minimal 100K in the first year. Yeah, minimal. And what we did on the first day is what we broke it down for 1 million. But if you break it down for 100K, right? 100K meaning 6 figures, it's the same process. You just take away 1 0 at all the steps, right? But that's the first thing. You got to reverse engineer it. You got to write down what are the different ways of how I can do it. So that's what we did on the first day. And then I said to you guys that one of the things that I share with all our students and the FLC students is you want to focus on the core. All right. So if you're focusing on a 7-figure goal, which is making a million, then you want to have 1,000 of your core program sold, right? If you want to make 100K, which is a very beautiful first year goal, then it is 100 of those ones sold, okay? Now that is a very important thing, but you might be wondering right now, like, what could I offer that is worth $1,000 or worth £1,000, whatever your money unit is? And so what I spoke about on day number 2 is that what you know already, what you're talented in already, is something that a lot of people are waiting for. I gave loads of different examples, and if you haven't watched that one yet, make sure to watch it. It's on my page. You can just watch it back in the replay. But I basically spoke about the fact that your knowledge is something that people really, really, really need right now. I want you to comment this below. Comment below and say, I am an expert at what I know. I'm an expert at what I know. By the way, I'm not saying that you are an expert at what you don't know. I say you are an expert at what you know. Whatever that may be. Maybe you know cooking very well. Now, ask yourself this question. Are there people around this world that need to eat? Of course. Are there people, therefore, that need to know how to cook? Of course. So do you think that some people might want to learn how to cook delicious vegan food, or delicious low-carb food, or delicious Indian food, whatever it may be, whatever you are expertise in cooking? Of course that is the case. So do you think that some people might want to buy your book, your cooking book? Do you think some people might be interested in watching your video series on how to prepare these lovely meals? Of course. Now, and so also for you, there will be a point where you can offer your education, your knowledge, and people are willing to put a lot of money down for it. But one thing that is super important, because I'm going to break down this thing with you guys just in a moment, but what is super important to know before I dive into any of this stuff is that you are actually deciding right now that you're ready to accept abundance. Comment that below. Say, I am ready to accept abundance into my life. That is number one. Because what most people don't realize is that we are the ones that decide whether we get abundance or not. A lot of the time, on a conscious level, we say, yes, I want more money. Or a lot of the time people say, oh, I wouldn't mind having some more money. But I wouldn't mind when the universe hears that, or when God hears that, or whatever, the powers hear that, they're like, oh, well, we don't mind to give it to you, or we don't mind to give it to someone else. You want to be clear. So say, I am ready to accept abundance into my life. Make the decision. Give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to accept it into your life. That's number one. Number two, know your worth. I want you to say, I am worthy. Comment that below. I am worthy. Because what I shared with you guys on the first few days already is that you can make a lot of money by helping a lot of people. But then you also have to understand that money is energy. Money is energy. And with you helping people with your knowledge or with your skill sets or whatever, what you already know, it is worth a lot of energy. It is a lot of energy. So you will want to accept money back into your life as an exchange of energy. Now you might be wondering, why am I saying that? Why don't I just dive into the content right now? But the reason is because when I share this with you, and when you start to understand those strategies of how you too can build your own freedom lifestyle, but you're not aware of the fact that you are worth a lot of money, then none of this is going to help you. I want you to know that you can charge thousands of dollars, that you are worth a lot of money. In other words, you are not going to undercharge anymore. Comment below and say, I will not undercharge. This is super, super important. And why am I saying this? Is because I have been blessed to coach enough people all around the world that I know that this is one of the questions that live in people's heads when they first start out. I had the same thing too. Whenever I was starting out in business and I was learning from my mentor, Master Akashna, he said to me, go teach people your skills, teach people how to do this, this, and that. But then at that point, I was like, but I'm only just starting out in business. I am young, I'm a girl, I am not qualified, I am this, I am that. How many of you can agree with this? How many of you can resonate with all these doubts, all this self-talk? Then I'm like, oh, why would anybody want to learn from me? But it wasn't until I realized, and I was also educated, that it's not about any of these things. It's about your ability or my ability to get you from A to B. This is what we call the AB principle. The fact that you can share something. Let's say if you are good at cooking, that you can teach me how to make a meal. That is taking me from A to B. That is educating me in a particular area. And for that change, people are willing to put a lot of money down. So I want you to say, comment it below and mean it. Say, I value myself. And I value myself too. Let me give you an example. Whenever I work with people on a one-to-one basis and I mentor them, this is my fee. 100,000. 100,000 pounds to work with me on a one-to-one level for the whole year, where I am part of your business. I'm mentoring you. You can reach out to me any single time, and I help you on how you can make money, how you can monetize your passion, how you can help people. And allow a lot of passive income to come in. Now, some of you might be thinking, looking at this number like, wow, that's so expensive. But my question to you is, compared to what? Because I know that making this amount of money for me is easy. And I know that sharing this skill, working with you, will allow you to do that too. So let me ask you this question. If I share my knowledge with you and you are able to make this amount of money, and by the way, this is the minimum goal that every FLC student needs to set for the first year. Do you think that if you can do this once, that you can continue to do it? That you can make more money the next year and the next year and the next year? Do you think that if you have a passive income stream that can allow this to come in, that you can utilize this for the rest of your life? That you can make multiple hundreds of Ks? Comment below yes, if you know that you will. Now, then I'm saying to you, this is definitely worth it. This is definitely what my knowledge is worth. But I'm not saying this with you guys to brag. I'm not sharing this with you guys to say, oh, look how cool I am. I can help people make a lot of money by helping people, by automating their business. I'm not saying that for that reason. The reason why I share this with you is so that you too know your value. I'm not afraid to say this. I have no shame whatsoever to say this, to accept this amount of money, because I know I'm worth it. I'm sharing this with you so that you too know that you are worth it. Comment below and say, I am worth it. You are too worth. Your knowledge can help people, can make a difference, can change lives. So I wanted to start off with this because this is super important. Because only when you decide that, yes, I'm worth it, I know my value, only then will this knowledge, will this stuff that I'm about to share with you guys really be effective. Because if you don't know your worth, you're not going to implement it. And I want you to implement it. So comment below and say, I will implement this. I will implement this. Okay? Okay, cool. Nice. Let's get started. So, in order for you, whether you are completely new to this or whether you've done this before, in order for you to create a freedom lifestyle, you need 4 things. Okay? 4 things. These 4 things. Make sure to write them down. The first thing that you need is a product, service, or program. Write this down for yourself. Product, service, or program. But not just any product, service, or program. You want a product, service, or program that is high in demand, that a lot of people will want, that a lot of people will need. Because a big problem is that a lot of the time whenever people are excited, like, yeah, I'm going to become an entrepreneur, they think about, oh, what do I like? Oh, I always use this example, but just run with it. I like fluffy socks with 3 holes. I'm so excited about it because when I have those fluffy socks on and I have the 3 holes, then 3 of my toes can stick out. I'm so excited. And then what do? I'm going to make loads of fluffy socks. I'm even going to buy a lot of stock so I can make more and more fluffy socks. And then I finally create my website and I go out to people and say, guys, who wants to buy fluffy socks with 3 holes? And let me ask you, be honest. How many of you are interested in fluffy socks with 3 holes? Probably nobody of you. Maybe there's 1 person out of thousands that might be just as crazy as me. But this example might sound very silly to you, but this is the reason why, or one of the reasons why 95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. Write that stat down for you. And I'm not saying this stat to scare you. I'm saying this because that's the reality. Most people dive in like a headless chicken and they don't think about their audience, but not you. What is important is that you think about the people. Business, entrepreneurship is about helping people. Write this down. The core of entrepreneurship is serving people. So what is important for you to do is not just create a product based on what you're interested in. You want to ask yourself, Are there a lot of people that I could help with this? In other words, is it high in demand? Right? And that's also why whenever I train the FLC students, like just now, we had a long call about this. We train them in this. We take them through the process. How do you find out what people want? How do you listen to your market? How do you model the best people out there? I give them a whole list of millionaires, people making a lot of money in a variety of different areas so that they can model that. This is super, super important. So comment below and say, I must find or create a high demand product or service or program, right? And when we talk about the knowledge industry, then it can be a program, okay? So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing that you need, write this down for yourself, is visibility. Comment below and say, I must be visible. I must be visible. Because a lot of the time, people may have a fantastic product, a fantastic service, a fantastic program that you know can really help a lot of people. How many of you have an idea that you think can really change the world, that can help a lot of people, that can make people's lives easier, right? But the problem then is that if you have the best thing but nobody knows about it, it's not going to do anybody any good. It's not going to do you any good, and it's not going to help me. Like, it's not going to allow you to help other people. So the people don't benefit and you don't benefit. That's why it is so important that you must be visible. You need to get people to see that you are there. People need to see your solution. So you might be wondering, okay, so how do I do this? How do I become visible? So what you need to write down is the following. I need to be where the people are. Comment that below. Say, I need to be where the people are. And where are the people these days? On social media, right? On Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. You gotta be where the people are and add value to them. Make something that is powerful for them. Give them hope, give them inspiration, give them entertainment. Yesterday we spoke about that too. Yesterday I went live. Some of you may have seen it. I went live in my pajamas. I was cooking myself a salad. I was making a salad. But even when I was tired, I had my dark eyes, I was making my salad. Even at that point, I shared value. I talked about the importance of being authentic, allowing people to get to know the real you. Because write this thing down. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. And so when you show people the real you, when you are authentically, genuinely speaking to people from the heart, you don't have to be perfect. But if you speak from the heart, people can get to know you. People can get to like you. People can get to trust you. And that is when people buy. Let me share with you a stat. It was a stat from 2019. It might have changed by now, but still. It was said that 80% of consumers are more likely to buy from people that they follow on social media. By now, it's probably higher. That's the importance of being visible. That's the importance of allowing people to connect with you genuinely. And it doesn't mean that every single video that you make or every single post has to be the highest level. That's why yesterday I went live in my pajama. It's about building that relationship, adding value to people. Let me know if that makes sense. Comment below and say, makes sense, if it does. Right? That is super, super important. So the first thing is you have to have something that a lot of people can be benefited by, a high demand product, service, or program. And number two, you actually have to be there with the people. Let them know of your existence and the existence of your amazingness. All right? Now, then number three is you need to know how to convert. Write this down. Conversion is key. Because how many of you have ever heard a story, or perhaps you've had it yourself, that you had something great to offer. You are speaking to people, a lot of people. You get people are so excited. They say, thank you so much for your videos. Thank you so much for sharing this and that. But nobody tends to buy. Whenever you mention a program to purchase, whenever you mention the price, people run away. How many of you have ever had something like that? or you've heard of somebody like that. That is why it's so important to also know how to convert. How to convert. This is crucial. Today, by the way, with the FLC students, we spoke about conversion. We spoke about sales. We spoke about how you can focus. And this is a thing that a lot of people don't even know about. I want you to write it down. If you focus on empowering people, you can make so much more money. Write this down. If you focus on empowering people, you can make so much more money. You can close so many more deals. And you may ask, why is that? Why is that so? The reason is because people can feel if you're genuine. People can feel if you mean well. How many of you know what I'm talking about? How many of you have ever had it that you listen to a person and you definitely, like, you just resonate because you can see this person is sincere. This person is always there. This person is always helping you by sharing loads of different information, by inspiring you and all the rest of it, right? You can feel that it's real. So that is why with FLC, whenever we train our students, like today we had a full-on training session of more than 2 hours, we focused on how can you convert by means of empowering. How can you get a cha-ching? Everybody come below and say cha-ching. How can you get a cha-ching? By means of focusing on helping people. This is an extremely powerful skill, but a lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people go for the quick buck. A lot of people go about, yeah, I just want to get a quick sale. But for those of you who've been following me for longer now, you will know that the most of the money in your business is made in the back end, not the front end, the first sell, the first cha-ching. Most of the money is made in the back end. And do you think if you get a quick buck and you don't deliver, over-deliver, build relationship, give people an incredible experience, do you think they will come back to you? Do you think they will buy from you again? Of course not. That is why it's so important to, with the conversion, focus on empowering. Comment that below. Say, focus on empowering people. All right? Now we've spoken about 3 things. The high demand product, visibility, and conversion. Making cha-chings by means of empowering people. But these 3 things, this one, and this one, they will give you a business. Right? They will give you a business. But I'm not talking about a business today. I'm talking to you guys today about a freedom lifestyle business. Because how many of you either know a person who's in business, or perhaps you yourself are a person in business, but you're always stuck. You're always feeling like there's not enough time. You're always feeling overwhelmed. There's so many different things to do. And then you want to spend time with your family. You want to spend time with your friends. You want to go to the gym. You want to work out. You want to, have fun and relax. But there never seems to be enough time for that. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Comment in below and say yes. I've seen countless of people that really mean well, and their businesses are pretty cool. They want to help people, but they're stuck. And so that is why it is so important for us to share with people, no, it's not just about having a business. It's about having a freedom lifestyle business, being able to get more time. This is super important to realize, because you can make all the money in the world, but how is that going to benefit you if you're tired, if your health is not good, if you've lost all your relationships because you're always busy? Time is our biggest asset. Whenever the time is spent, we can't get it back. So the key here is how can you build in time? How can you be able to have a process in place that is even running for you without you needing to manage it? And that is where this 4th element comes into play. It's called automation. Comment below and say automation. Write this down actually. Automation equals freedom. Automation equals freedom. This is like, when I first heard of this, I was over the moon. I was literally like, this is so incredible. I was like, oh my gosh, why don't we learn this in school? Right? This is what bugs me up to this day. Why don't we learn this in school? Why don't we get this instead of all the amazing algebra, instead of all the other stuff that we obviously still use today? Why don't we learn in school how to automate our business? Why don't we learn how to create passive income? Why don't we learn how to look after ourselves so that we are financially free? Up to this day, that bugs me. Because there are good people, so many good people that work hard, but they're struggling. They put in their hours. They want to look after their families. They're good people, but they're still living paycheck to paycheck. They're still feeling stressed. They're still being overwhelmed. I think that is just, I don't think that's nice. I don't think that's fair. And that is the reason why we do what we do. That is why right now I'm running a Freedom Week, even though my day has been incredibly busy and I'm actually a bit tired, but I really want this message to hit home. I want you on the other side of the screen to see that there is another way. There is another way. And so automation is a very powerful way of how you can literally clone yourself and have yourself, your clone, your virtual representation of you, do everything while you're sleeping, while you're with family, while you're looking after yourself, while you're having fun and dancing around. That's what automation is. And some of you may be thinking right now, okay, it sounds cool, but how does it work? It works as follows. Let me give you a very simple example, okay? Let's just say I could be running a webinar. If anybody's ever heard of a webinar, it's incredible. Very, very, very incredible. So a webinar is where you basically share with people a lot of powerful information. So you may be thinking that you have your course, okay? You have your course, which you know you're gonna offer for $1,000, okay? Now on a webinar, what you do is you give people a lot of value, you share loads of different things, you open up their eyes, you empower them, and then towards the end of the webinar, you say, well, I hope you've learned a lot, and if you want to learn more, I actually have a program where I share this in so much more detail. So if you want to buy this program, here's a link. You can click on the link and you can register and secure your spot on my program. And boom, that's it. Write this down for yourself. If you've never heard of the concept, write it down. What does that mean? It means that you give a lot of value, you empower people, and there's always a few people that think like, wow, this is so amazing. I want to know more. I want to learn more. I want to work with you. So those people will buy. Now, here comes the cool part. When you're running your first webinar, you have to do it live, right? You're doing this, you do your webinar, blah, blah, you speak. Then it still costs you time. Then you're still in this area. But what if I was to tell you that you can record your webinar? That once you know that the webinar is working, you can record it. And you can keep it running, even while you sleep, even while you're doing other things, even while you are spending time with family. Your webinar can still run for you. It can still go out there and empower people. It can still sell your program. Now, if this is something that you think is incredible, then comment below and say, I want this. I want this. Because when I ran my first webinar, let me tell you, my first webinar was a live webinar, by the way. But when I ran my first webinar, I was just so amazed. I was so amazed. And I was like, man, I just ran a webinar. And this was in Vietnam because we were running a mastermind with our students. I ran my first webinar and I closed. There were 2 people that bought my program. By the way, my program wasn't a $1,000 program. It was a $2,000 program. So I remember I finished my webinar. It was a 2-hour session. And I was literally saying to myself, how is this possible? I have just spent 2 hours and I made twice my salary when I was in a job. Just think about this for a second. I spent 2 hours behind my laptop. By the way, people didn't even see me. My camera was off. I just had my slides and I was speaking, reading off a script. 2 hours of my time. And I made twice the amount of my salary, which was a $2,000 salary. I was just mind blown. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh, that's not much money. But for me at that time, I was like, man, normally I have to work a whole month, no, 2 months for this amount of money. Now I spend 2 hours. And I wasn't even talking about the automated version. When I started to put things online and automate it, that's when my whole life changed. But the problem is that most people don't know about this. Most people are not aware about this. Most people are just thinking, I need to offer my time to get money. But that's outdated. That's not how the world works. And let me tell you one more thing, which is the most beautiful of all. When I finished my webinar and I made it twice my salary in the 2 hours, I was feeling happy. Not just for the fact that I made money, but because I knew my product, my program, would help change people's lives. Now, if you think that is absolutely powerful, comment below and say powerful, that you can spend a little bit of time or no time at all if you're automating it, right? Obviously, it takes time to build the automation, but once it's done, right? But that you can have the minimal amount of time, make a lot of money, but change lives. How incredible is that? And this is what we see during our program as well, our FLC program. It's the craziest thing ever. But as people start to make money, more and more people start to say, I quit my job, I quit my job, I quit my job. And most of the time, just in any normal setting, whenever you say, I quit my job, people are like, oh, I'm so sorry. You quit your job. Are you okay? Whereas what do we do in our FLC community? All the FLCers will know. We're like, yay! Hoo-ha-hoo! Congratulations! You're free of your job. High five! It's like opposite world. But that's the thing. You can be purposeful. You can help people. You can have fun. I have fun every single day. And by the way, it's not that I don't work hard. I work very hard because I am on a mission. I want to help more people. But it is so fulfilling. Even the days that I'm most tired, like today, I'm very tired. I've been teaching all day. But even at those days, I feel so incredibly happy and blessed because I know I'm helping people. And I know that it's making a lot of money also. So I don't have to ever worry about money. Now, this is what I want for you. I want you to be able to do this too. I don't just want this to be a video where you're like, oh, look at her, so cool for her, yay. No, I want you to do it. I want you to transform your life. I want you to go through this process and also be purposeful, help people, but save time. Automate this whole thing. That is why I'm running this Freedom Week, because I want you to now believe too. Comment below and say, I will do this too. I will do this too. Everyone, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this on replay, whether you are the shy person or not, make that commitment to yourself, not to me, to yourself. You deserve this too. Anyone can do this. I've trained countless of people from all around the world. People with no qualifications whatsoever. People with calling themselves not tech savvy, or tech phobia, or whatever. They don't like computers, they don't like this. But the way how we educate people is step by step. I know now for a fact that it doesn't matter what your background is. You can do this too. And I want you to believe that. 1 year from now, if you truly open up your eyes and you truly take my energy today and allow yourself to believe in yourself, 1 year from now, you will see a difference. By taking the first step today, by saying, I believe in myself, I can do this too, you will see a difference. This is the first pebble that you throw in the water, and it will have a ripple effect. I can promise you that much. But believe in yourself. Know that you can do it. Know that you can do it. And I want to say another thing, because I understand, because also whenever I started out in business, it was like, wow, there's so much. I understand that it works, but I don't understand how I should work it, right? I want to ask a question. How many of you who are watching this would think it would be helpful if I was to help you? If you think that it's helpful, comment below and say, yes, help me. That sounds a bit scary. Maybe say yes. Just say yes or yes or whatever. But just help me. That sounds a little bit scary. Comment below. Because one of the things that really, really, really right now, it doesn't matter for me whether I have to stay up for so many extra hours and run this challenge or run this Freedom Week on top of everything else that I do, this is something that I really, really, really am passionate about. We want to help more and more and more people, more communities, more families to be able to do this too. And so because of that, what we've decided to do is to offer 33 more scholarships. What that means is that rather than, because our program, our Freedom Lifestyle Creators program, where we take our students, like the one that I just taught before this live, where we're talking about, that one, it has a tuition fee of £10,000. Why? As you guys know, like this is not like working with me on one-on-one, like what I explained before, which is the 100,000, but this is the group program, where you, by the way, have lifetime access to everything, right? But because obviously it's worth it, because people learn how to go through the process with us hand by hand, and you can ask questions for a lifetime. We have incredible entrepreneurs in our community that are there also to help. But even though it is worth that investment, and I know people buy it from the website for the full investment, we want to help people. We understand as well what it is to start out, when it is like in the beginning that you're like, how do I start? So for that reason, we're giving out scholarships, and we've decided to set aside 33 additional scholarships. So what it means is the following. This is not going to be for everybody, because we do want to make sure that this is something that, like this is not going to be a get rich quick scheme. This is something where you focus on helping people, where you focus on making a difference, where you're focusing on being purposeful. But what I just shared is you can be so purposeful and allow that purposefulness to expand the amount of money that you make. And so because of all of this, there is going to be an interview process. So for those of you who just said, yes, I would love me to help you with that, there is going to be an interview process. So what it means is there's a link in the description, but I'm going to drop the link now too. It is a link where you can apply for a scholarship interview. What it means, let me just see if this is the right one. What it means is that, let me see, is that my team will give you a call and they will ask you a few questions. And when you answer those questions, it's going to be very simple. It's not going to be about qualifications or whatever. It's just going to be about what do you want to do? How purposeful, like how do you want to help people, right? When you have qualified for that interview, what it means is that we will cover the vast majority of the tuition fee for you. So what I mean by that is that we will cover the vast majority of thousands towards your tuition fee. And you would only have to invest the minority. And we even have payment plans as well, because we really want to help people. We don't want anyone to allow money to stop you from making money. So on that note, I just want to say thank you so much for believing in yourself and for realizing that if you want to create abundance, it starts by you making the decision. Make that decision today, because everything is possible. Everything is possible. And for those of you who have applied for an interview, I just want to say, like, be yourself. Be yourself. It doesn't matter what your qualification. I've just said it before. Be yourself and listen to our team, because our team is absolutely amazing. They're all Freedom Lifestyle creators, entrepreneurs. And the most thing that matters is that you say, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to change my life around. So on that note, I just want to say good luck for those of you who are going to go through the interview process. You got this. And I'm very much looking forward for those of you who will pass the interview to be working with you, to allow you to go through this whole process with us. But in any case, whether you are going for this or not, understand that you can do anything. There's nothing in this world that you cannot make happen. Just believe in yourself. Just make that decision. Make that choice today. Because Michael Jackson says, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. So comment below and say, I will make that change. And you're not making that change for me, you're making this change for yourself, for your family, for the people that you love, and ultimately for all the people that you will bless by having made that choice, by sharing your incredible wisdom, by allowing people to be benefited with all the value that you have. You will make an impact. Just make that choice today. So, guys, thank you so much for being here. Hey, look at my dad as well. Mwah, love you, Dad. Thank you so much for being here on day number 4 of Freedom Week. And if there's any of you who have any questions, feel free to hop over to my Instagram, where I'm going to be doing my daily Q&A with you guys. So if you have any questions, jump to Chibaria on Instagram. So it's TJIBARIA on Instagram. And I'm looking forward to answer your questions right there. So see you all on Instagram. Bye. Love you all.